And we welcome you back to Mountaineer Field. West Virginia on top by a score of 41-7. I'm Tony Caridi along with John Garcia. Halftime statistics, West Virginia totally dominating the picture. The Mountaineers with 14 first downs, throwing for 90 yards. Bowling Green with 104, but you can see they put it up into the air 26 times, just 9 of 26 in the passing department. The Mountaineers with 209 yards on the ground for a total of 299 yards of offense. One turnover by the Mountaineers, and the time of possession belongs to Bowling Green, but the score belongs to West Virginia, 41-7. Darren Fulton back deep to return the second half kickoff. Jason Zeller ready to put the ball into play. Good boot by Zeller, and Fulton will not have a return. West Virginia will start off the third quarter of play, 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line.
Boy, he kicked the air out of that one, didn't he?
He banged it. Charlie Bauman has put 2 in the end zone, forcing touchbacks for West Virginia, but that's the first one that Zeller put that deep. Head coach Don Nehlen well on his way to becoming West Virginia's all-time winningest coach. 58 victories. Ties him with Art Pappy Lewis, and with 59, barring a miracle comeback, he'll have the all-time record here today. Greg Jones will start the second half at quarterback for West Virginia, and Eugene Napoleon will start it with a big run from scrimmage across the 30-yard line, may have the first down. Terry Wilson and Kyle Kramer there to make the stop as Eugene Napoleon gets his first carry of the 1988 season.
This will be an excellent opportunity for Greg Jones to get some playing experience, so later on down the road, if anything does ever happen and we need him, he'll have that experience under his belt.
First down for the Mountaineers. 10-yard pickup there by Napoleon. Again, Eugene gets the call, looking outside. 7-yard pickup, and West Virginia starts the second half just like they did the first half of the game, moving against that Bowling Green defensive front. Derek Carr making the stop there.
The amazing thing about this is 3 tailbacks, and all 3 of them are big-time backs. I mean, all 3 can start at major college schools, and we have all 3 of them here at West Virginia.
Napoleon will be West Virginia's front runner at the tailback position if you want to look ahead to next year, with both A.B. Brown and Andrew Johnson leaving. This time the room is tough for Napoleon, but he turns it around. And he brings it close to that first down marker at the 40-yard line.
This guy's extremely quick and elusive. Remember the 94-yard touchdown return he had against Maryland last year.
He says that he wants to improve his pass receiving this season. Last year, he caught 4 balls for 56 yards. He says that he wants to become more of a factor as a pass catcher. He's picked up 19 yards on 3 carries here in the third quarter. 3rd down and 1, just shy of the first down marker. Napoleon has the first down plus some more. Across the 45-yard line.
2 tight end offense, and it's just rock'em sock'em football. I mean, that offensive line just blew him off the ball. Eugene saw a hole and slid up in there.
Aaron Evans and Darrell Mitchell come out of the lineup for West Virginia. Calvin Phillips and Grannis Bell in as receivers. Rico Tyler, the fullback for the Mountaineers. Eugene Napoleon at the tailback position on first down. Jones with his first pass for the Mountaineers. Has his man. Calvin Phillips to the 30-yard line. First down, West Virginia. Calvin Phillips' first reception of the afternoon. Senior out of Boynton Beach, Florida. Had 9 catches last season for 153 yards. And he's looking to be a key member of the WVU receiving corps this season. 25-yard pickup brought down there by the free safety Kyle Kramer. There's a shot at Calvin, who, as mentioned earlier, appears in a picture with Grannis Bell in this week's edition of Sports Illustrated. Inside, Rico Tyler. Dwayne Crenshaw, the nose guard, making the stop. Did you see Rico this week? Appearing on ESPN, the feature on the Mountaineers, which Bino Cook ranked them #1. Bino provided the percussion for the Major Harris rap.
That they use his bald head?
I don't know how they do that. 4-yard pickup at 2nd down and 6 from the Bowling Green 26-yard line. Bowling Green has the turnover. The option pitch could not be held on, and Kyle Kramer from his free safety spot pounces on it, and Napoleon coughs up the football as West Virginia was driving in there in Bowling Green territory.
This is one thing that Greg Jones has to work on. He's more of a drop back guy, and the option is a big part of the West Virginia offense.
Turnovers now evened up, one each. Falcons will have the ball from their 22-yard line, trailing it 41-7. Dakin remains in as the quarterback despite going 9 of 26 in the first half. Fullback is Sean Daniels. And Mike Fox there from his tackle spot to make the stop.
Mike Fox.
The interesting thing about Mike Fox is when he was a freshman, he came to West Virginia 6'6", 214 pounds. Today he's 6'8", 260. A 400 bench press also. Al's done a great job with this guy.
1 yard gain. It's 2nd down and 9. WVU defense. First stringers are in there all the way across the board. Dakin. Beautiful defensive play there by Elboyd Mays, coming over the top of Ron Hurd at the 35-yard line. Elboyd Mays making his first start as a Mountaineer. Has been with the WVU program for 2 years, came over from Pratt Community College, and is a great man-on-man coverage person.
Not only great coverage, but great pressure by Chris Parker, backing that offensive tackle up and getting his hands up in the air.
They call him the Noid. Avoid, they call him the Noid. 3rd down and 9. Dakin with a straight drop. Has his man Hurd, but they'll be shy of the first down. Ball hauled in at the 35-yard line. Mays again on the coverage, but that'll bring up 4th down and 2 yards. Mountaineers have already blocked 2 Bowling Green punt attempts as Chris Shale goes back deep.
Again, you see that 10-man look. It would certainly put make a punter nervous.
Fulton and Whitmore are on the corners. Here comes Whitmore. Punter goes down. No flag, though. Bell from the 25. Rannis Bell rolls it up to the 38-yard line. West Virginia will take over, and so the fumble by Eugene Napoleon does not cost the Mountaineers. 10:31 to go. West Virginia on top, 41-7. 1st and 10 from the WVU 38-yard line. Greg Jones in as the West Virginia quarterback. Eugene Napoleon, his 6th carry this afternoon, looking outside, and he's got room. Kyle Kramer makes the stop with some help there from Larry Lambright, inside linebacker.
Rannis Bell, number 1, made a great crackback block. That little guy came in there and really stuck it to that linebacker. Usually it's those wide receivers tiptoe when they want to come in on a linebacker, but he really stuck his head in there.
Rannis Bell, the smallest of the WVU starters at 5 feet 9, 150 pounds. A marker is down on the play.
So, soaking wet, right?
Clipping against the offense. 15-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
So the clipping penalty will bring West Virginia back to their 24-yard line. As one Mountaineer fan gets a bird's eye view. 1st down and 25. They'll replay the down. Rembert lines up as a receiver wide to the right. Napoleon again looking right. With a big block there from Reggie Rembert, he was able to scoot along to the 40-yard line. That'll almost bring him back to the original line of scrimmage. Tony McCorvey, the left cornerback, finally made the stop, but watch Reggie Rembert, number 88, on the play.
Great job on the toss sweep. Eugene sees the same and just keep running. Reggie does a great job up front.
Screening off the defender. 2nd down and 7 from the 40-yard line. Jones looking for his 2nd pass, going for Rembert. He's got him. first down, Mountaineers into Bowling Green territory at the 44.
This is Greg Jones' forte. Play action pass, stand in a pocket, and zip the ball in there. Boy, he really shoots the pill that time.
It won't count, however. Penalty marker is down. Ineligible man downfield is the preliminary signal. So a clip, and now another penalty coming up against West Virginia.
Ineligible receiver downfield against the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
So a beautiful strike thrown by Greg Jones to Reggie Rembert. Does not go, and Grannis Bell will come in.
There's spies from Cal Fullerton in that big balloon up there, Tony.
Do you think so? The Titans playing Southwest Louisiana this afternoon. Second down and 12 from the 35-yard line. Jones going deep for Grannis Bell. He's got his man beat. Bell to the 15. Yes, West Virginia does have a number 2 quarterback that can come in and do the job.
Again, Greg Jones, like we talked about, loves to sit in that pocket and just throw that ball.
First and 10 at the Bowling Green 15.
So the Mountaineers, penalties or not, will not die on this drive. At the Bowling Green 15-yard line. Jones now 2 of 2 for 75 yards. Napoleon drags it just shy of the 10-yard line.
Bowling Green has yet to be penalized, with West Virginia 6 penalties for 60 yards.
Eugene Napoleon did not have a carry, although he got in for a couple of plays in the first half, but here in the early part of the third quarter, Napoleon has been getting the call. Second down and 6 from the Bowling Green 11-yard line. Rico Tyler bowls his way in like a bowling ball to the 6-yard line. Doug Van Fossen and Dale McDonald there to make the stop.
You know, West Virginia is very fortunate with Greg and Major Harris and the 3 tailbacks we have. All 5 of those guys are legitimate major college players, and they could play almost anywhere.
Spot the ball right between the 6 and 7-yard line. Jamie Lamont lines up as a receiver to the left. Reggie Rembert to the near side. The option to the right. Napoleon with a hole. Won't make it. Down to the 1-yard line.
Stopped short of the goal line by Nick Jacobs.
Well, they got down this close on their first possession, John. They option toss to the left, and Eugene could not hold on to it. This time they go right. The toss was right there, and Napoleon brings it just shy of the goal line.
Super effort. He just almost got into the corner.
Aaron Evans lines up as a wingback to the right. There he is, 36. Napoleon slips. Jones will keep. Just shy of that goal line. Broken play, but Jones turned it upfield. Napoleon, the intended ball carrier on the play, if you'll see it, he slipped on his footing as he started off. Toy Eason and Mike Holmes come over to make the stop on Greg Jones.
Greg shows a lot of maturity here. Even though there's a broken play, he's still aware of where he's at, and he gets up the field and almost gets in.
Timeout on the field. Don Nealon comes over.
I can guarantee they weren't talking about the weather.
Not at all. With a pat on the rump, Jones goes back with the play.
Coach Nealon pointed the crooked finger at him.
From 1 yard away. Second down and goal. Napoleon got it. the rest of the WVU backfield with success hitting the goal line. Craig Taylor's got a touchdown today. A.B. Brown with one. And now Eugene Napoleon scores it on a 1-yard plunge. And the Mountaineers lead it by 40 points, 47-7. Bauman's extra point is there. West Virginia 48, Bowling Green 7, 6:41 to go, third quarter of play. Hey, don't forget, fans, that Mountaineer Sports Night will be coming to you next Friday evening on MSN Television. Host Woody O'Hara will talk with Coach Don Nealon and preview the Cal State Fullerton game. The new show is loaded with features and information, giving fans a behind-the-scenes look at West Virginia football. Consult your local listings. Well, I tell you what, John Garcia, a very impressive drive by the WVU Mountaineers as they score their 48th point of the afternoon. Despite two 15-yard penalties in that drive, they were able to march the field and come away with a score, culminating with a Eugene Napoleon dive from 1 yard away.
Greg Jones showed a lot of maturity there, took the team, took control, and drove right down the field. That'll pay dividends, Tony, later on in the season. This is invaluable time. You can practice as much as you want during the afternoon sessions, but it's only during a real game situation that you become comfortable with the system, and that's what Greg Jones is doing. That's what Don Nealon is using him here in the second half for. And it's great for morale to go out and have some fun, right? You know, Jones came into the season saying, I know I'm the number 2 quarterback, and why not with the great season that Major Harris had. As you can see, it took 7 plays, 62 yards. But he says, I also know that I'm only 1 play away from being in there. That's right. You never know what is going to happen. I.G. Thornton back deep to return for the Falcons. Charlie Bauman is ready. The thing about that is, Tony, is that he accepts that role and is ready to come in, and that's a big value to a team. Thornton from the 5-yard line. Tries to work it right, and he's knocked short of the 25. So the Falcons will try it again. And there's Greg Jones, Mountaineer quarterback who came in last season, about this time last fall, and has been learning the WVU system ever since. Stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighs 190 pounds, and he, according to Dwight Wallace, was the most impressive high school player he ever saw. That's Darren Fulton down for the Mountaineers, being attended to by trainers Greg Ott and John Spiker. Behind Greg is Chuck Levinus, who's playing a lot of specialty teams today. And Chuck's very much into this game. You got to admire a 13 quarterback. It really keeps the emotion, and that's great for the team. Usually your 13 quarterback's more interested in the pretty blonde in the third row than on specialty teams running down under kickoffs. Yeah, there's no doubt Levinus has made a contribution to this team. Although he's the quarterback by position, he has been a key performer on the special teams for the Mountaineers over the last couple of seasons. There's Darren Fulton. Sat out last year because of academic problems, but he's back into the Mountaineer lineup this season, playing defensive back as a cornerback and also working on the special teams and punt and kickoff return coverages. The 24-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Ball carrier is Mike McGee. Robert Pickett in on the stop. You know, John, Robert Pickett was a real question mark coming into this season for West Virginia. Of course, he had the swelling of the forehead last year that worried the WVU coaches, so they sat him out of spring practice. Came back, first day of contact in the fall, and immediately that head began to swell up again. But they've tried several different helmets, and they feel that they've got one that is working now. And that's a big, big plus for the WVU defense. Pickett, one of 4 Mountaineer captains this season. Dakin. Intended over there for Kyle Hockman. The pass was there. Pickett was as well. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 8. Super play. Man coverage by Robert Pickett. And Coach Karlavich, the new outside linebacker coach, who was switched from defensive line to outside linebackers, had told me that Pickett knows the coverages better than he does. You know, normally Bill Karlavich, up until this season, would spend his games in the press box, calling down the formations and the schemes. But this year, now that he's the outside linebacker coach, he's down on the field. Up until last season, he had been the defensive line coach. he'll be a big plus on the sidelines. You really need that emotion and enthusiasm that he has.
On 3rd and 8, Dakin will run for the first time this afternoon, and he's got room. Crosses over the 35-yard line, and he'll have the first down for the Falcons. So Dakin, who's been dropping back and either eating it or firing all afternoon, takes off and had the hole for the first down. That's Bob Shaw, West Virginia's new defensive coordinator. 29 years he's been in the coaching ranks. All over, colleges, into the pro level as well. Spent some time in the USFL. So Don Nealon came out with a statement that Bob Shaw has forgot more football than most people ever know. First down and 10. Ball is caught there by McGee. Up to the 45-yard line. An 8-yard pickup. That'll bring up second down and 2. Alvoid Mays there to push McGee out of bounds.
Talking about Robert Pickett's injury, it's really strange. I talked to John Spiker, one of the athletic trainers, and he said it's very unusual. He only knows of 3 since he's been associated with athletic training. 2 at West Virginia and 1 at Louisville.
They think they've got the helmet now to take care of it. They hope they do. Second down and 2. And McGee on the carry.
McGee carrying the ball.
Close to the first down marker. Eric Lester in underneath the pile to make the stop, and he'll come off the field now. Mike McGee, 6 foot 1 inch, 230-pound senior from Dayton, Ohio. Had a great average per carry last season, 6.2 yards, but as mentioned earlier, could not hold on to it. Fumbled 5 times, and head coach Mo Ankney found him a spot on the bench for most of the season because of that.
And these guys are so big, their fullback and tailback combination, 225, 230. It's awful difficult for those big guys to get to the perimeter, and that's why the majority of their game is between the tackles.
He's run good for the first down, and so Bowling Green on the drive, putting together a couple of first downs. 4 minutes and 53 seconds to go, third quarter of play. West Virginia leads it 48-7. And you can see the Mountaineers have just dominated on the ground. Reggie Thornton in motion. Pressure is on, and they got it. Pat Marlette, defensive tackle for West Virginia, the senior out of Princeton, New Jersey, came from behind to make the stop. Talk about a guy that beefed up in the offseason. Pickett, I should say Marlette, weighs 285. He left at 250 pounds last May. So a very productive offseason. You can see beefed up as Pat Marlette, but still has the speed to make the stop on a Rich Dakin keep.
450-pound bench presser, and I was at a barbecue last Sunday with him at one of the coaches' house, and you should have seen how many hamburgers he ate.
I was going to ask you, did he have his own steer? Delayed draw. This is Charles Edgerton and Basil Proctor, along with Steve Grant, there to make the hit. Edgerton comes into the season, senior or junior out of Columbus, Ohio, as a question mark. Has never had a full season at Bowling Green, bothered by injuries throughout his career.
And the thing about Pat Marlette that is so impressive, he's a senior coming into his last season, and he's a role player. He knows he accepts his role as a backup tackle and does a good job.
Third down and 17 facing the Falcons. Pressure is on. Dakin with a dump to Edgerton. Proctor makes the hit. Basil Proctor, number 99, playing his first game as a Mountaineer, came over to make the stop along with David Lockwood. And the fans give the Mountaineer defense an ovation as Robert Pickett looks to the sidelines.
Just a super job by that inside linebacker, reading that screen and having a feel for it. Really gets up in there. Great job.
Rannis Bell standing at his 25. Chris Shell to punt from the 22-yard line. Mountaineers play the return. Bell charges from the 31. approaches the 33-yard line. That's where West Virginia's offense will start from. 1st and 10 from the 33. The Mountaineers lead it 48-7, 2:21 to go. Third quarter of play from Mountaineer Field. Greg Jones staying in as West Virginia's quarterback. He has engineered one score here in the third quarter of play. Andrew Johnson in, his first carry of the second half. Up across the 42. Keith Payson to make the stop. Napoleon was featured in the first series here in the second half, and now Andrew Johnson in to get his share of carries. There's the Mountaineer defensive coaches. Bill Kurlavich with the baseball hat turned backwards, along with Pat Marlette pouring the water over his head, Skip Fuller, Steve Grant. 4-yard pickup. Inside handoff goes to Aaron Evans, and he drags a couple of tacklers.
Aaron Evans carry.
Shy of that first down marker.
One of the things that makes this three tailback situation a great combination is that they can roll these guys and they get a break. Those inside linebackers have to stay in there every series for Bowling Green, and they really take a pounding.
Taking it the easy way. That's Darren Fulton. We saw walking off earlier. He's got a couple of ice packs back there on the calf muscles. Apparently he was cramping up. Dive over the top, and that's a first down for the Mountaineers. Toy Eason making the stop, but not before Andrew Johnson took the up and over. Andrew with 19 yards on 8 carries this afternoon. Senior out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, played at Stranahan High School. He enjoys and enjoyed West Virginia so much, he told one of his friends from his high school team, Harold Ortiz, that he should also consider West Virginia, and he did. Rember, knocked out of bounds at the 39-yard line. I think of the 41-yard line. Knocked out there by Tony McCorvey. So Rembert comes in his first game as a Mountaineer and makes an immediate impact. McCorvey, who was over to make the stop, shaken up on the play.
The Mountaineers continue their homestand as West Virginia takes on the Titans of Cal State the next Saturday.
This is one of the first seasons in quite some time that West Virginia has had 4 captains, Tony. It's probably one of the most emotional little experiences I've ever been through. The team got together here last Sunday, and I know years past, Coach Neal, we always voted on it. And we have it here at night, and they flash the names on the scoreboard, and it really brings the team together.
It has been an afternoon that won't soon be forgotten by the WVU football team. West Virginia leads it 48-7. And for all the Mountaineers, all you do, this bud's for you. Greg Jones off to a strong start as WVU's quarterback, 3 of 3 here in the second half for 84 yards. The difference between Jones and Harris, not only in their style of play, where Jones is a more drop-back style passer and Harris is more of a scrambler, but physically, Harris and Jones almost the same height. Major is 6 feet 1 inches tall, 207 pounds. Jones is 6'2", 190. So he's got about 17 pounds and another inch on the Major, and he's more of a lanky player, and that's one reason why he's more of the drop-back type quarterback.
The thing about Major is that his arm is so deceiving. He's not in the stature of a Danny Marino or a Jim Kelly or a Doug Williams, but he still can sit back there and really rifle that ball. And that's one thing I was surprised about. He can still flip that ball 65 yards.
48 seconds remaining here in the third quarter of play. Tony Caridi along with John Garcia. Christian Miller handling the spotting chores in the box this afternoon. John Antonick providing the statistics along with Miles Montgomery. Well, McCorvey gets walked off. And that'll bring in Dave Jacobs at the left cornerback position. Second down and 1. And the toss goes to Andrew Johnson. Good block, room to go. Johnson over the 40, he's got the first down. Steve Wilborn and strong safety Terry Wilson there to make the stop as Johnson sliced his way for the first down.
That's just old-time hockey. Toss, sweep, and let's go get him.
Scott Parker in there for West Virginia at a tackle position. Johnson again. Slicing runner. Shy of the 35-yard line as the clock continues to wind down. 17 seconds to go here in the third quarter of play. Dwayne Crenshaw credited with the stop for Bowling Green. Greg Dykes comes into the Mountaineer huddle. Another junior college receiver. Spent last season at Hutchinson Junior College in Kansas, where he received an All-American position on the first team. Clock winds down. The quarter comes to an end. West Virginia leads it after 3, 48-7. Don't go away. Well, the offensive jets cool a bit in the third quarter for West Virginia. The Mountaineers scoring 1 touchdown, leading it 48-7 as we begin our final quarter of play. Second down and 7 from the 36-yard line in Bowling Green territory. Andre Johnson. Slowed down and pushes ahead. Knocked out by Toy Eason. Eason, a sophomore outside linebacker, considered the best outside linebacker on the Bowling Green team.
You know, Andre played in 11 games last year, and he's done a great job almost every time he's gone in there.
You can see the dominance by West Virginia in the rushing department. Total offense 436 to 161. Third down and 3. Again, it's Johnson outside. Down to the 21-yard line. That play, you could see the sand-filled surface here on the OmniTurf scoot up as Johnson was dragged down. The sand flew up. Kyle Kramer, the free safety there to make the stop on Andre. First down for the Mountaineers.
Andre's freshman year against Temple, he ran for 206 yards. Had a great performance. That ranks as the 5th overall total rushing.
5th best afternoon?
Yes.
By a Mountaineer back. It was in the rain. West Virginia's Mountaineer for this season. First and 10 from the 20-yard line. Aaron Evans the carry. And he brings it up to the 15-yard line. Todd Currents there to make the stop. So that'll bring up second down and 5 from the Bowling Green 15 as the Mountaineers look to crack the 50 mark. Leading at 48-7. Again, it's Aaron Evans, and he's got the first down. That'll bring up first down and goal for West Virginia. Evans, the sophomore running back out of Richmond, Virginia. His dad, Hugh, is one of the veteran NBA officials.
That was a great, strong effort, twisting and turning and slashing, trying to get every inch. We'll see a lot of him in the future.
First and goal from the 6-yard line. Andre Johnson's got the room and the score.
Andre makes a great move. He has great vision. He's able to slip back there and find the seam and gets in for the touchdown.
So Andre Johnson's got his first touchdown of 1988 from 6 yards away. West Virginia leads at 54-7. Bauman on to make it 55, and he does. 13 minutes and 3 seconds to go here from Mountaineer Field. West Virginia leads at 55-6. Fullerton, 1 week from today.
Students have been pretty quiet today, haven't they, Tony?
Well, I thought they were quiet up until our last break. They've got a whale of a cup fight going on upstairs. Some things never change.
Well, most of them are down Sunnyside already. I don't know what's going on.
13 minutes and 3 seconds to go as Bauman prepares to tee it up. No, that won't be Charlie Bauman. In fact, Don Nealon's going to make a replacement there.
Charlie was getting tired.
Going to put in Brad Carroll, the heir apparent to Charlie Bauman. Bauman's the senior. Harrell will get a crack as the fans begin to filter out of Mountaineer Field. That's Reggie Thornton back deep to return. Harrell works it to the near side, and like Charlie Bauman, he puts it in the end zone, but this time Thornton will come out. From 2 yards in, reaches the 20-yard line. Alex Shook, redshirted freshman out of John Marshall High School, in there to make the stop. West Virginia native.
Number 43, Alex Shook.
Again, like we said earlier, Tony, it's easier for that right leg kicker to kick to the right because he has that range of motion and the follow through. And you'll be able to see that ball go deeper. But when he kicks to the left, it's a little bit more difficult, almost like a golfing.
Dakin looking left, pressure on, and Dakin down. Skippy Fuller, out of Somerville, New Jersey, from the nose guard position, came straight ahead and make the stop on Rich Dakin.
Play action pass. Dakin's looking, he's getting a lot of pressure. Once he makes that undecisive move, it's too late.
Loss of 8 yards on the play, 2nd down and 18. 12:21 to go here in the ball game. The Mountaineers leading it 55-7. McGee breaks free. Basil Proctor had a hand on him, but could not make the stop. McGee split through and brings the ball up to the 23-yard line. Official attendance this afternoon, 53,515. And Don Nealon is on his way to set the record. Most wins by any West Virginia coach. 59 after this is over, breaking the mark of Art Pappy Lewis. 3rd down and 7. Dakin floats one out there to his fullback Viscount. They've got the 1st down.
I'm kind of surprised that they still have Dakin in there, to tell you the truth, Tony. You know, the score is 55-7. The game's, in all practical purposes, is over. Let's get our backup guy a little bit of work.
Eric Smith is the backup for the Falcons. We've seen him as the holder on the field goal attempt from Jason Zeller that was no good. 1st down and 10, the Falcons. Mike McGee again trying the middle of that West Virginia defensive front. E.J. Wheeler from his inside linebacker position came around, scooting down to make the stop along with Skippy Fuller. A look at West Virginia quarterback Greg Jones. He's engineered 2 touchdowns here in the 2nd half of play. His first action as a Mountaineer after sitting out last year after transferring from the University of Miami. He's looked impressive, John.
He certainly has. One thing we'll notice starting next week, you'll see little Mountaineer muskets in the back of their helmets for big plays and big licks and crunch blocks.
Interception. Here's Zippy Shear. Flag goes down. Zippy Shear came from behind. The pass was intended there for Ron Hurd. The ball will go to West Virginia.
And may I add, a Mountaineer musket for interceptions also.
Dave Lockwood came from underneath to pick up that loose ball. You can see the ball overthrown. Shear there playing the free safety position. Ball will pop loose. You saw the flag from across. There's Lockwood, 41, diving in, and he comes up with the fumble recovery. So the West Virginia defense with their first interception of the afternoon.
What that defensive back will do when he makes an interception, he'll yell Oski or Bingo or Sally or something to let the defensive line aware of, hey, we've got one, let's go get it in the end zone now.
Holding will be the penalty, and it will go against West Virginia. The Mountaineers will retain.
Against the defensive team after they intercepted the ball.
So in other words, the possession will belong to West Virginia if that had occurred prior to the interception.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the defense. First down, West Virginia.
So to sort it out, they'll take the holding penalty, mark that off, and then they'll add on an unsportsmanlike call against Bowling Green. And when that's all done with, West Virginia will have the football at the 33-yard line in Bowling Green territory.
Zippy, he's another great team player. Came to West Virginia out of St. Francis High School here in Morgantown, a walk-on. And I mean, that's really good to see a kid get an interception like that.
He was a great high school running back. In fact, he led the state in scoring in his senior season. Napoleon slicing. Crosses over the 25-yard line. Eugene Napoleon has one score in the ball game. It came early on in the third quarter. Knocked down there by Dale McDonald and strong safety Terry Wilson.
Zippy was the runner-up for the Kennedy Award here in West Virginia.
That's right.
A business major.
7-yard pickup by Napoleon. It's 2nd and 3. Fullback keep on the play as Jones ran through the option. Alex Shook, redshirted freshman out of John Marshall High School, getting his first collegiate carry. I would have to think Don Nealon would be he's never happy, but I think he would be at least a little bit impressed with how his team played this afternoon. Again, Shook is the ball carrier as West Virginia seems content just to chew the clock up. Nothing fancy. Shook brings it up to the 15-yard line, knocked down by Larry Lambright.
Well, that's one thing he always told us, Tony, is you enjoy this game until 5 o'clock tomorrow. After 5 o'clock, it's time to get on to the next one. So I'm sure immediately as soon as he steps off this field, he's going to be thinking about Cal Fullerton.
Charlie Fedorko lining up as a receiver out to the left. Charlie getting his first action this afternoon. Here comes a hold for West Virginia. Reserve running back Barry Browning out of Madison Scott High School, Southern West Virginia. He makes himself a hole.
Dale Wolfley is still in there, provided a great hole. Now here's a guy who's a second teamer, but is a great offensive lineman. A 400-pound bench presser, and we just outmanned Bowling Green.
Mountaineers have it. 1st and goal from the 7. Alex Shookin at the fullback position, Barry Browning at the tail. And it's Browning again. Up to the 5-yard line. Browning was very impressive in spring practice. Very impressive. Good ball carrier, a strong kid. You know, he's as strong as A.B. Brown in certain exercises, and that's saying something. They've got a tote board in the Mountaineer weight room listing all of the accomplishments.
I didn't see your name on there anywhere,
no,
Tony.
Not at all. Not at all. Chuck Levinison as the Mountaineer quarterback. Ball carrier is Shook inside the 5-yard line. Forward motion will keep him inside the 5 as he's driven back.
You know, the accomplishments that they've made in the weight room is pretty much indicative of the success that they've had here. The weight room is about twice the size as it was 4 years ago.
3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. Barry Browning in for the score. Touchdown, West Virginia. Barry Browning from a couple yards out. His first touchdown as a Mountaineer.
You know, we talked a little bit earlier about the possibility of West Virginia overlooking Bowling Green. And one emphasis that Coach Nealon has done is he's blocked out every game on the schedule in the locker room except Bowling Green. Next week we'll take off Cal Fullerton and we'll keep the rest of them blocked out. So you keep focused on that one game only and take them one game at a time.
West Virginia leads it 61-7 with 7 minutes and 23 seconds to go in the ball game. Charlie Bauman's extra point attempt straight through, and West Virginia has a 62-point afternoon with 7 minutes and 23 seconds to go. Tell you what, Gar, you'd have to go a ways back in the Mountaineer record book to see when they scored 62 points on the last time they scored 62 points.
You may have to add a couple games together.
From the